to this special edition of Humber News. I'm Lindsay Wadden. This past semester, second-year journalism students have been covering some exciting news, business, and entertainment stories.
And I'm Tyler Bloomfield. Our top story is about a man who captured the attention of the city of Toronto for his antics both in and out of office. Former Mayor Rob Ford died in March. He was remembered and honored with a public visitation and ceremony at City Hall. Crystal Mohan was there and filed this report.
Toronto City Hall is full of Ford supporters today who are encouraged to offer their respects and condolences. The two-day public visitation allowed people to sign a guest book and stand inches away from Ford's casket. Some guests traveled from far, like Roberta Brown from Pickering.
I think that he always had a big following, even in spite of his antics.
Officers take shifts throughout the day, guarding the casket and honoring the counselor.
Well, I think a lot of people in Toronto have had some second thoughts about Rob Ford. You know, he was obviously he had a lot of problems, but he also he was very empathetic with the populace, and you can see that.
Ford's brother Doug has spent hours at the visitation, greeting guests on a more personal level, something that Rob Ford was known for. Photo collages were set up for the event that included pictures of the counselor and his closest friends and family.
Well, he was so generous, trustworthy, very peaceful guy, full of knowledge of the city, full of knowledge of each individual needs.
At Toronto City Hall, hundreds of people line up to pay their respects to the former mayor. Today is the second day of visitation leading into tomorrow's funeral procession at St. James Cathedral in Toronto. I'm Crystal Mohan, Humber News.
Good news for students coping with the high cost of tuition. The Ontario government is offering so-called free tuition for students from low-income families. Turns out it's not completely free, but nonetheless, the new produced positive reactions. Robert Williamson has the story.
Last week, Kathleen Wynne and our Ontario Liberals revealed the Ontario Student Grant, a program designed to financially provide for those enrolled in post-secondary education. The grant will effectively pay for the entirety of a student's college or university tuition if the student comes from a family whose average annual income is $50,000 or less. The government estimates that over 150,000 students will benefit from the grant. According to some, it's a step in the right direction.
It's knowledge, and it's knowledge should be shared. So based on that fact, having students lower tuition fees is a very good option, and free for those who can't afford it is a very good option.
For they make like more employment opportunities so they can study and make money and help their families to reach their fulfill their needs and wants, everything, right?
While the funding for the grant remains unclear, critics claim the Liberals will be doing nothing more than shuffling money around. There are some of those who believe that if funding is being pulled from elsewhere in the budget, it's for a good cause.
Using the taxpayers' money for something that can help the last generation and the next generation, I think it's a good idea. I think investing in the future is the way to go, especially if that's using infrastructure and students.
The grant could be the cornerstone on which government-funded education in Ontario may blossom from. And when the dust settles on this decision, Wynne may come out looking like a revolutionary in Canada's political spectrum. There are plenty with their ears to the ground, and with the rest of the country watching, students can only hope that the Liberals' decision starts a trend nationwide and for generations to come. Robert Williamson, Humber News, Toronto.
Out with the old and in with the new is the new motto for record sales with streaming websites like Tidal and Spotify. For Humber students, new music platforms allow them to download music for free while supporting their favorite musicians. Brandon Richard Austin has the story.
According to statistics from a 2011 EMI study, youth in the 16 to 20 age range listen to more music than any other demographic. That means college students like these ones at Humber are some of the most music-focused people in the world. And why wouldn't they be, with all the different music platforms available to youth? Apple estimates 11% of all its iOS users are signed up with their new Apple Music service, and considering 74 million iPhones were sold in Q1 of 2016 alone, that's a whole lot of listeners. But still, what's up with the other 89%? And what makes those who pay for music break out their wallets?
I'll probably spend money on music to support the artist, just to show some sort of appreciation.
Streaming services like Tidal have made it easier for people to get an all-you-can-eat-like experience with their music instead of paying upfront for CDs, something known to be a challenge.
I don't usually feel like paying for my music, so I just pick it up off of whatever free music app I have at the time.
But how do kids support their favorite artists if they're not buying their music?
I usually go to their concerts. I'm a big Weekend fan, so whenever he's down here, I usually buy a ticket.
I support them either by YouTubing their music or spreading the word. And whenever I hang out with my friends, I'm like, hey, check this song out that I've been listening to.
According to statistics from the Recording Industry of America, record sales have dropped from just over 500 million records sold in 2007 all the way down to just over 240 sold last year. This is largely due to the popularity of music streaming services like Spotify, and that's led artists like Taylor Swift and Radiohead to pull their music completely from such websites. For Humber News, I'm Brandon Richard Austin.
Tea time isn't only for an hour, it's forever for tea enthusiasts. Brampton's newest tea shop is a perfect place to satisfy those taste buds. Alyssa Souza has more on the story.
Hi there, welcome to Tea by Daniel. This is Minnie Mouse Marinade.
According to the 2015 Tea Association of Canada, the avid Canadian tea drinker drinks about 85 liters of tea a year.
Okay, we're going somewhere.
Mary Archer explains how Tea by Daniel is an unordinary experience for tea drinkers.
When you come here, you get an experience. You don't just get a cup of hot water that tastes like something else. This is a place where you can come, you can feel welcome as soon as you come in.
Tea by Daniel was created by Daniel Lewis and his wife of 6 years, Renata. After the 2014 grand opening, the company's sales increased rapidly. Tea by Daniel collected a 75% annual revenue boost in 2014. Daniel's older brother Jonathan helped Daniel's business become successful. Jonathan assisted with the interior design of the store, the tasting of teas, and helped Daniel promote the shop on social media. Jonathan admires his older brother's entrepreneur skills and positive attitude.
It's obviously more than just the tea, right? It's the personality that comes in effect. It's the message, the inspiration, the motivation, the dedication. And tea is just, again, like I said, it's just an avenue that he's using to really put himself out there as a young entrepreneur.
The Tea Association of Canada also states tea is the world's most consumed drink other than water. In a research conducted by Nielsen, the Canadian tea market in grocery stores was worth $426 billion. Jason Baluit says he goes to Tea by Daniel every day.
Pretty good. I come here almost every day because I work next door, right? But it's been good. I feel like family here. They treat me well. It's a good experience every time.
Have a great day, and today and tomorrow I'll begin with tea.
Tea by Daniel is located in the heart of downtown Brampton. It is open 7 days a week and has become very successful in the past 2 years. Alyssa Souza-Paul, Humber News.
There's a new kind of athlete emerging these days. With the rise of online gaming, the person sitting right next to you could very well be the Kobe Bryant of eSports. Hunter Crowther goes in depth with gamer Callum Milligan.
Never heard of Callum Milligan, but if you're a fan of the popular computer game StarCraft, odds are you've heard of Lackstar09.
We serve.
That's Milligan's gamer tag, a virtual identification that fellow online gamers know him by. The second-year sports management student has made a name for himself in the world of electronic sports, or simply esports.
I'm playing StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Big fan of this game. Just started playing it a couple months ago. I'm already having a good time. I play a lot of sports now, but video games has really taken over that, just because of the sheer ease of playing video games. You can be sitting in your house or you can be sitting in your living room, and you can still play video games. Whereas sports, you have to go outside or go to the gym, go to the ice rink or something like that.
Compensation is a big part of eSports entry into the mainstream. A tournament with the best StarCraft II players in South America last week had a top prize of $10,000 US.
First and foremost, it's the money that they generate. They can compete with almost any major sport easily in any given day on a weekend when they have their live streams of tournaments and stuff like that.
Blowing up in the late 2000s, eSports popularity is catching up to traditional North American sports like football and hockey. ESPN and Sportsnet have hired full-time eSports writers, while Asian TV networks bid on live tournament broadcast rights.
Generating money all over the place. San Francisco holds events. New York City does. It's going to take just a matter of time. If ESPN 3 is going to get on board, then ESPN 1 and 2 will follow suit anyways.
A ton of games out there that really give that real physical vibe. You know, you're playing that game, and when you accomplish something in the video game, you're celebrating almost as if you accomplished it in a sport, because you're excited, you're ecstatic, you work together, it's required teamwork and effort, and it's just as satisfying as scoring a goal in a game or beating a boss in another game.
Those same players run their own YouTube channels with thousands of subscribers and millions of hits for each video. Even if you prefer a hockey stick over a joystick, one thing is certain: the definition of sport is changing. For Humber News, I'm Hunter Crowther.
There is nothing better than going to a place with family and friends to get out and enjoy some food, drinks, and games. Baller's Bistro provides all of those and is the first restaurant in all of Canada to offer snookball entertainment. Danielle Furtado has the story.
Baller's Bistro is the newest place to hang out in Mississauga. It's not your typical pool hall. In fact, it has a slight twist to it that will keep you coming back. Snookball is what they call this game that combines soccer and billiards. Wondering where to hold your next family, friend, or business function? Baller's Bistro is the place to be. Come check out their regular and VIP service. This game includes up to 4 players with 2 players on each team.
We came at it with a residential structural approach, but we beefed it up for commercial. We beefed it up a lot. And designing these took maybe a month and a half, and then we were here 2 months building these.
This is very different to your regular restaurant because it's a different concept. If you're looking to try something new, then we have that. It's little soccer balls and it's pretty fun, so I definitely recommend it.
Baller's Bistro's opened in October of 2015 and has had a lot of success since then.
I think it's incredible. It's a great concept. It's doing really well. Giving people something to think about, something to do more than just go somewhere and eat or drink. Has a huge entertainment aspect of it. It's doing really well. You can go have a high-class meal, have some drinks with your friends, and at the same time do something that you've never done before, or see something you've never seen before.
On Tuesdays, come on in for some chicken wings and receive a free spin on the discount wheel. Get your snookball feed on here at Baller's Bistro. I'm Danielle Furtado, Humber News.
Sticking with sports and kicking of another kind, Humber Athletic Center isn't just for varsity level sports. The college hosted a high school futsal tournament, and Natalie Dixon was there.
Soccer is undoubtedly a popular sport, but what about futsal? You may not have heard of this unique but similar sport. However, it is essential to team motivation.
I think that it promotes growth in spiritual, health, academics. I think it helps the whole big triangle.
Facility coordinator Rick Bott thinks so too.
They get enjoyment, they get physical activity, which is very important to them, but it brings them closer together.
Humber College hosted the tournament today. High schools Dante Alighieri and Heart Lake played each other. It was a tough competition, but one team player says it's about more than just that.
Oh, like friendship, teamwork, like just more skills to develop and everything.
Futsal is part of the Football Association. It uses a smaller field and is played mostly indoors. Although it is technically futsal, these schools categorize the game as soccer. Referee Wayne Norman says futsal is quite hard to play.
Okay. It's much faster, it's much more skillful, it's much more technical, and it's a growing sport because you can play it all year round.
Futsal involves 2 teams with 5 players each. The ball is quite a bit smaller than a regular soccer ball. For these teams, players will be chosen by the end of this week. Coaches and coordinators all came out to watch. The game lasted about 90 minutes, and in the end, Dante Alighieri won 3-0.
Tournament was Dante.
Today's tournament is between Dante and Heart Lake High Schools. Today's students are not worried about catching up with the books, but catching up with the score. From Humber College's North Campus, I'm Natalie Dixon.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll have entertainment for you when we come back.